Have you ever noticed how society celebrates those with bustling social calendars, yet the wisest elders often walk a quieter path? What if I told you that according to ancient Zen wisdom, the pursuit of numerous friendships after 70 isn't just unnecessary, it might actually be blocking your path to profound peace? Today, we're diving into a liberating truth that few discuss. Why having fewer friends in your later years isn't something to fear, it's something to embrace. Drawing from timeless Buddhist teachings, I'll reveal 6 unexpected reasons why this natural shift isn't a loss, but rather your spirit's final blossoming. Whether you're approaching this golden stage of life or simply curious about the deeper dimensions of happiness, what you're about to discover might forever change how you view connection, solitude, and the true source of lasting joy. Stay with me until the end, and I promise you'll discover not just why the wisest Buddhist masters embraced solitude as they aged, but how this ancient understanding can free you from social pressures and reveal the profound contentment that's been waiting within you all along. Number 1, you don't have to prove anything to anyone anymore. Imagine a retired professor, Dr. Eleanor Vance. For decades, her identity was almost entirely wrapped up in her academic career. She was Dr. Vance, the renowned historian. Her social circle revolved around her colleagues, students, and the endless cycle of conferences and publications. Her sense of worth was intertwined with the prestige of her position and the recognition she received. But then came retirement. Suddenly, the titles, the accolades, and the built-in social structure vanished. Eleanor felt a strange emptiness. At first, she desperately tried to recreate her old life, attending events, reaching out to former colleagues, and trying to stay relevant. But something felt forced. One day, sitting alone in her garden, watching a monarch butterfly emerge from its chrysalis, it struck her. The caterpillar, the chrysalis, the butterfly, all the same life force, but transformed. Her identity didn't have to be fixed. She could embrace this new phase, shedding the old skin of her academic self and discovering what other forms her life could take. This realization was the first step in a journey of self-discovery. Remember those younger days, trying to be someone else to fit in? Maybe the clothes, the music, pretending to love something just to belong with the right crowd, or trying to climb the ladder, impress the boss, keep up with the Joneses next door. It's a trap so easy to fall into, building this perfect image for the outside world. And honestly, it's exhausting. Constantly worrying, constantly pretending, draining. But Zen Buddhism offers a different way. It reminds us that nothing stays the same. Picture a flowing river. Try to grab hold of it, and it's already gone. Life, and even you, are like that river, constantly flowing, constantly changing. You're not some solid, unchanging thing. You are a current of experiences, feelings, thoughts, all interconnected. One day happy, one day a little sad, one day grateful. And those passing opinions? They're just ripples on that vast river of you. They don't define your journey. Decades of life have brought you here. You've weathered storms, celebrated triumphs, grown wiser with each step. Your worth isn't something to be earned. It is. Let the opinions of others fade, like echoes on the wind. Instead, find your value like a lotus, rising from muddy waters, not dependent on what it rose from, or the gazes of others. Similarly, as your 70s blossom, your inherent kindness, wisdom, and the potential to touch lives are all you and cannot be taken away. When you release the need to be someone you're not, you find freedom. And that, my friends, is where true Zen begins. And with that appreciation, how do we then begin to prioritize our time and energy? Number 2, peace and quiet become way more appealing than socializing. Even someone as famous as Oprah Winfrey has talked about needing to slow down. Can you imagine? All that success, all that attention, and yet she realized She needed quiet time, just to reconnect with herself. She said she felt like she was so busy being Oprah that she'd almost forgotten who she really was. So she started meditating every day, just finding some quiet time to be still, away from all the cameras and the demands. And she discovered that true strength wasn't about doing more, but about finding peace inside. Isn't it true? As we age, we often begin to understand how wonderful a quiet life can be. It's not that friends suddenly become unimportant. Connection will always bring joy. It's that the need to constantly be busy, to be talking, to be surrounded, often begins to lose its shine. In ancient Zen wisdom, masters taught that it is in that inner space, that stillness, we discover our voice. You will not be forced to be isolated. You may even find you desire more time alone. We begin to realize that truly listening to our minds, without the chatter and judgments, is more valuable than another gathering. Think of a still pond on a windless day. The image is not disrupted. So what is it reflecting perfectly? It is our natural world, our nature that has always been there that has been disrupted. When stillness and peace guide the mind, we have better clarity and insight. That peace is not simply being alone, but rather an active process of knowing ourselves. So, while you are not turning away from living in the world, you're actually creating the space within to engage with it with greater awareness and wisdom. This is not only how we can honor others, but how we can discover more about ourselves. However, even with the best intentions, managing expectations in any relationship can still be a source of potential friction. Number 3, having less friends means less chances to be upset. Have you ever been really close to a group of friends and then something changed? Maybe someone moved away, or life just pulled you in different directions. Think about Maya. She was in her early 70s, and her world revolved around her book club friends. They were like family, shared everything. Then, one of her best friends, Sarah, moved to be near her grandkids. Maya was heartbroken. She felt like a big piece of her life was missing. She kept comparing everyone to Sarah and feeling resentful that things weren't the way they used to be. What Maya realized after a while was that her sadness wasn't really about Sarah leaving. It was about her holding on so tightly to the idea that things had to stay the same. It's so easy to do that, isn't it? To expect certain things from people, to think that relationships will last forever. But life just doesn't work that way. What did the ancient masters say in the past? As the wheel of life turns, it teaches us that change is inevitable. If we try to hold on tightly to people or our expectations, we find our hands beginning to hurt. It's not that we become cold, but rather find a sense of equanimity for all beings. Isn't it said that a path to peace is what we seek? When you have few deep friendships, it means you have a few expectations. Your heart becomes a home, not a revolving door. Zen shares that when we cultivate a sense of peace within, we rely less on others for our peace. Then compassion becomes the guiding principle for how to live in this world, rather than need. See each person and interaction as the possibility to show kindness to others. But if our happiness isn't tied to specific people, then how do we best honor the limited time we have? Number 4, every moment counts even more than before. Even someone as busy and successful as the movie director Martin Scorsese has talked about how your perspective changes as you get older. He said that you start to realize everything becomes precious, time becomes precious, moments become precious. He explained that when he was younger, he was always chasing the next thing, the next movie, the next award, the next big achievement. He was so focused on the future that he didn't really enjoy the process, the little things that happened every day. But now, he says he tries to appreciate each moment as a gift instead of worrying about the past or chasing some future goal. Zen's wisdom invites us to a profound truth. This moment, right here, is all there truly is. Every breath, every feeling, every sunbeam on your skin. These are the treasures the present offers. And the older we get, the more deeply we feel this truth etched in our hearts. Friendships? Precious, without a doubt. Yet they also weave a tapestry of commitments, calls to make, plans to arrange, gatherings to attend. What if we chose to also honor the whispers of our own souls, to dedicate precious moments to what truly nourishes? Imagine it. A mindful walk in nature, the gentle rhythm of breath in meditation, simply being present, breathing in the beauty of a sunset. It's about reclaiming your time, shifting away from obligations, and aligning with your spirit. It's not about turning away from friendship. It's about coming to those connections with a fuller, more vibrant presence, fueled by the wellspring of your own joy and inner peace. We can become better individuals for all our lives as a whole because we can give the precious gift of self to those around us. But where, ultimately, do those deepest values and aspirations originate? Number 5. Happiness comes from inside you. Maria is in her early 70s. For decades, she was the heart and soul of her large family, always organizing gatherings, helping with the grandkids, and being the go-to person for everyone's problems. Her identity was wrapped up in being needed, in being the one who held everything together. Then one year, her health took a turn. She couldn't do all the things she used to. Family members started relying on others. Maria felt lost, like she had lost her purpose. She wondered if she was needed anymore. But then, something shifted. As she rested and recovered, she found time for things she hadn't done in years: reading, painting, and simply being quiet. She began to realize that even though she couldn't do as much, she still had so much to offer. Her years of wisdom, her compassionate heart, and her ability to listen without judgment. She discovered that her value wasn't in her doing for others, but in her being herself, with all the richness and depth she had accumulated over a lifetime. And like Maria, Zen reveals that we are already rich with everything we need: inner strength to weather any storm, wisdom gleaned from a lifetime, and boundless compassion. This isn't to be found in constant activity or validation in the eyes of others. It's always been within you. Isn't it true that we often seek fulfillment from others, only to return back to where we began? As the years unfold, Zen invites a gentle turning inward, a return to our true home. This isn't about rejecting connection, but a commitment to quiet reflection, to knowing ourselves as intimately as we know our dearest friend, to become fully aware and trust that what is, and to no longer seek in others what can only be truly found ourselves. For in this, we are enough. In knowing and trusting what already is, the quality of every relationship blooms with a new light. We relate from authenticity, with no need to take from others but rather to share from the overflow of our own being. In essence, you discover the truest companion, the wisest guide, is the inherent peace and understanding that resides within. If this awakened awareness is truly our greatest companion, then what do we need to release to fully experience its presence? Number 6. Letting go can make your life feel more complete. The poet Maya Angelou, who had a way with words, once said something that really captures the heart of this idea. She said, "You only are free when you realize you belong no place. You belong every place, no place at all. The price is high. The reward is great." What she meant was that true freedom comes when we stop trying to fit ourselves into boxes, when we let go of the need to be a certain thing for certain people. And that's really what Zen is about too, letting go of anything that holds you back from being your most authentic self. Doesn't this feel true? As years pass, habits and patterns can begin to weigh us down, like carrying stones in our pockets. You may have thought that because you have always had many friends, that this must be the path. But ask, is this something I desire? But is that a freedom or a constraint to truly honor the ancient teachings? Consider, letting go isn't a severing, it's a liberation. It's releasing the grip of expectation, the need to conform, to be something other than your authentic self. It's granting yourself permission to dance to the rhythm of your own heart, to seek joy where it truly resonates. The gift of release unfolds a vast expanse within, space for quiet contemplation under a tree, for igniting passions set aside, for simply resting fully in the embrace of the present moment. With inner wisdom as your guide, you can become someone you have always desired, no longer bound by the expectations of others, and as a result become more of who you are. In this release, we are made new, opening a birdcage and watching the spirit soar. It is not a loss, but a joyous return, embracing the vast landscape of wisdom earned and discovering, at long last, the boundless contentment that resides within the sanctuary of your being. So, as you continue on your journey, especially as you enter these later years, take some time to think about what we've talked about today. What really brings you peace? What makes you feel good? Deep down inside, maybe you'll find that you don't need as many friends as you used to. And that's okay. Maybe you'll discover that spending more time with yourself, being present in the moment, is actually what brings you the most joy. What ideas from today really spoke to you? What's one small thing you could do this week to embrace more of that freedom and inner peace? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Your experiences and insights are valuable and can inspire others. If this video resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're interested in more thoughts and ideas about mindful living and the wisdom of Zen, consider subscribing to Mind Temple. Thank you for joining me on this journey today. I hope you find peace, joy, and a sense of freedom in every moment to come.